Hey folks, how would you feel if the government said they want 2/3 of your backyard? One, you're not going to get compensated. Secondly, they're not going to use it for anything.
I've been here since 77. That's 49 years.
Yeah.
I hope everyday people can see that this could be overreach of government.
We gave them a deadline. They did not respond.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Burlington, Ontario. And folks, I'm about to bring to you an incredible story about a boundary dispute. And this is the crux of the matter. The Ontario Ministry of Transportation wants to enforce a boundary, a new boundary that is going to directly affect 8 homes in this little neighborhood. So what's going to happen is that a lot of the backyard, in this case, at this house, it'll be 2/3 of the backyard, is going to revert to the MTO as the steward of the property. The MTO maintains that they are entitled to this boundary, a boundary that they haven't enforced for 70 years. As you can see, the boundary is that chain link fence, and then further on there is a rock fence that is blocking off the Queen Elizabeth Highway. Now there's 2 things that I think are exceptional about this. The MTO says they are not going to compensate the homeowners a single nickel. It's just to seemingly enforce a boundary for the sake of enforcing a boundary. It's crazy. And I'm with Keelan right now. This goes back 70 years. There's been surveys during certain decades. It was never a problem to now. Why is this such a federal case when it comes to the MTO?
Well, that's what we're trying to understand. And, we haven't gotten a clear answer from them because we've worked with them very amicably in the past. We've maintained the land, we mow the grass, we trim the weeds, we make sure there's no invasive species that come here, and we use the land in return. And it has been a beneficial relationship for both parties. But seemingly new management, or I'm not sure exactly why the attitude changed, but beginning with November of this year, we received a letter saying that we had until a certain date to vacate the property, the land in dispute, their side of it, and we have to remove structures, and they're going to put up a chain link fence, and we're just trying to understand why.
This chain link fence, was put there by the MTO when they built the highway sound barrier wall, and now they want to take back 70 more feet, 60 to 70 feet, and put up another fence. Why would you put this fence in the beginning and not put it on your property line if you thought it was yours?
As you can see behind me, a beautiful swimming pool just in time for swimming season. And wouldn't you know it, Brian, according to the MTO, part of this swimming pool is on their property, allegedly, and you're going to have to move that to be in compliance. What are you going to do?
Well, right now we're waiting to try and get some communication with the ministry. We forward them different communications or ability to try and talk to them, and we've really got no response at this point. We've just maintained, or we're stewards of this land for a period of time. We've taken care of it, and we're just asking to continue use of it until such time that you wish to or require further use.
We haven't really gotten much of a response from them that explains what they're using it for. We have heard kind of a broad reasoning that they need to expand the highway potentially in the future. But with the way things are right now, there's no immediate plans for the highway to be expanded. And I feel like we've been maintaining this land for 50 plus years. We would like to continue to maintain the land for 50 plus years. And at this stage, there should be no reason to take it from us while we have been great stewards of the land, maintaining it.
Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story. The fact is, we need your help. Unlike the mainstream media, we do not get a single nickel from the Mark Carney Liberal Journalism Slush Fund. Here's where you come in. Can you please go to rebelfieldreports.com? That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation so that Rebel News can continue to bring you the other side of the story. As you can see, this stake here, that's what the MTO put down, folks. That means, as you can see, his patio furniture is exceeding the property line, the new property line, by all of 1 foot. So he's got to move this structure, which I think is incredibly petty. But let's just do a count. Let's see how many yards or meters approximately Owen is losing off his backyard. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So folks, that's 19 paces to where this chain link fence is. And then it's hard to see, but the brick wall for the QEW, I estimate it's about another 15 paces. What in the world does the MTO need all this backyard for? They established this new boundary. How is it going to look any different from this boundary right behind you right now? This is a fantasy, surely, that they're going to put in another lane of the QEW here.
Yeah, it's touted as being a service road. I personally can't see the viability of putting a road in here at this point and having to move, or what access you're going to get from it. And that's all we're asking, just that communication, to understand what the process is here. Yes. to reach these goals.
Even if you look at their own studies, you can see that for any existing plans they have now to revamp any of the highway, everything's going to happen within the right of way. If you see over there's no actual expansion to the berm. These trees, according to their own study, should remain intact because there's environmental concerns there. So there is no expansion right now. There, as you say, there might be a constraint with the highway, that it's a much bigger project, and they're not going to actually need this land for a highway anytime soon.
In Burlington, we have a growing tent city homeless issue. Who's saying that these people are not going to come and tent behind our houses now? There's no guarantee.
What a nightmare.
What about security? What about rodents? What about ticks?
We don't know what's going to happen with maintenance long term. We don't know if there's going to be a grass growing up to your waist. We don't know if there's going to be tick issues. We don't know if there's going to be encampment issues, which we've seen down there. So these are all valid concerns, and we haven't had any response from MTO how they're going to address this.
The problem is that we got notification. We just got like a 2 to 3 day advance notice that they're going to survey it. And next thing we got a notice that, to vacate the land. And all we ask, just want to be communicated to and understand, or have an opportunity to speak to somebody and try and extend this point. It's no problem. We have no problem being stewards of the property for them, and with no obligations, and just continue living here at that point in time. That's all. We
want our voices heard, because this is going to hurt our property rights, our property values. It's going to cause significant headaches, and it's going to cause costs for us to rebuild fences down the middle of, or wherever they separate the properties. So we just want to understand what the plan is, and we haven't really had any sort of back and forth conversation where our concerns are addressed.
We've asked them nicely for face-to-face meetings, Zoom meetings, everything. They have not responded to us, other than they're going to get back to us here or there. But we even have the lawyer reaching out with a letter. They were supposed to. We gave them a deadline. They did not respond. And here we are. Well,
you might be down, but you're not out. You've got a good lawyer, I understand. He's fighting for you in the court of law. You're coming to us. We're going to fight for you in the court of public opinion.
All we're asking from the ministry at this point is someone to open up the channel to talk to us. That's all. And we know it's your property. We've acknowledged that from day one. And just willing to talk to somebody that we can come to some kind of amicable agreement here in order to continued use in the interim period. That's all. We enjoy being stewards of your property. We've looked after it. Everyone's done a tremendous job, as you can see in the property. And it's got wildlife, everything. We just want to enjoy it. That's all.
You look around, this is a lush environment. There's large trees that have been around for longer than before these homes were built. There's rabbits, there's birds, there's lots of wildlife that comes through here. And they, are supported by this environment. And every study that the MTO has done for any expansion in the past, they've explicitly stated no trees are going to be harmed, especially the ones that are just on the other side of the berm, right next to the fence. So if they're planning on expanding this highway, and they're going to have to tear down that whole green line of trees.
I look at this and I say, the fence is going to be right here. There's the stake mark right here.
Yes.
And, to the back. And they've allowed us to use this property. I've been here since 77. That's 49 years.
Yes, we have families here. We have pensioners here who are on fixed income, where this is going to be, significant cost themselves. Our kids play on these play sets. So this actually has real people impacts, and they're not even talking to us.
And Keelan, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a property expert, but the fact that they knew about a mistake they made 70 years ago. That's when these houses went up back in 55, 56. Isn't there some kind of a precedent that if they knew all these decades and they did nothing, do they really have a valid claim to suddenly right now in 2026 say we want this land back?
I don't know if valid's the right word, but there definitely is some sort of compensation. There's precedent for compensation in other cases.
I got to be honest, I can't imagine many people siding with the MTO on this.
Well, I'd hope not. I hope everyday people can see that this could be overreach of government, and it's really just punting to the side without a conversation that is really irking us, and that's why we're reaching out to you. If we'd come to some sort of amicable resolution, which what they'd actually originally promised before they started giving us the cold shoulder, it may be a different story. But also they haven't responded to our lawyer's letter to them within the time frame, and we gave them substantial time. So at this stage, this is our only recourse, and we'd hope that something changes before June 30th, because like every homeowner knows that you care and you love for your home, you maintain it, and that's what we've done. And I think that MTO, if they understood that, maybe they wouldn't be so harsh on us.
Well, Keelan, please keep us informed when we want to follow this through the court. I think this is what the MTO is doing, is coming up for a solution to a problem that doesn't exist.
I'd agree with that.
Well, folks, as I mentioned, we did reach out to the MTO. We wanted to get their side of the story regarding this Burlington boundary dispute. And as I correctly predicted, radio silence. It's actually shocking. Under the Doug Ford government, I can tell you, like previous governments, every cabinet minister has a media relations team. Every ministry has a media relations team. Every Crown corporation has a media relations team, except just one thing. Unlike previous governments, none of them relate to the media. This is Doug Ford's way of doing things in secrecy. It's why just the other month he had the Freedom of Information laws changed so that getting basic details in the public interest is now verboten. I think Doug Ford's slogan is, "For the people." Which people, Doug?